Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a story that literally changed the money in people's pockets overnight. We're talking about the birth of the euro, one of the most ambitious economic projects in modern history. How did a dozen different countries, each with its own centuries-old currency and proud history, decide to adopt a single brand new one? It's a tale of politics, economics, and a massive logistical challenge. So grab your wallets, figuratively of course, and let's explore the incredible story of the euro's debut. The idea of a single European currency wasn't new. For decades after World War II, leaders dreamed of a more integrated Europe, believing that economic union would make future conflicts unthinkable. By tying their economies together, they hoped to create lasting peace and prosperity. This vision led to the European Economic Community in 1957, the precursor to today's European Union. But moving from trade agreements to a shared currency was a giant leap. Think about it. Giving up your national currency, like the German Deutschmark or the French franc, is a huge deal. It's not just money, it's a symbol of national identity and sovereignty. The journey really gained momentum with the Maastricht Treaty in 1992. This treaty laid out the blueprint for the European Union and, crucially, set the stage for Economic and Monetary Union, or EMU. It established strict criteria that countries had to meet to join the future currency zone. These were known as the convergence criteria, and they were tough. They covered things like inflation rates, government debt, budget deficits, and long-term interest rates. The goal was to ensure that only economically stable and well-aligned countries could join, preventing a weak economy from destabilizing the entire system. It was like setting up a very exclusive club with a very strict dress code. The late 90s were a flurry of activity. The name euro was officially chosen in 1995. Then came the designs. Open competition was held for the banknotes, with the theme ages and styles of Europe. The winning designs by Austrian artist Robert Kaina cleverly avoided featuring any real specific monuments. Instead, they depicted generic windows, gateways, and bridges from different architectural periods, like classical, Romanesque, and Gothic. This was a brilliant move. It symbolized openness, connection, and cooperation without favoring any single country. The windows and gateways on the front represent a spirit of openness, while the bridges on the back symbolize the connection between the peoples of Europe and between Europe and the rest of the world. And so, on the 1st of January 1999, the moment arrived. The euro was officially launched, but with a twist. You couldn't actually hold it yet. For its first 3 years, the euro existed only as an electronic or accounting currency. 11 countries, Austria, Belgium, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain locked their old national currency exchange rates to the euro. This meant that prices in shops were often displayed in both the local currency and euros. Your bank account might show a balance in both currencies. It was a strange transitional period. The French franc, the German mark, the Italian lira, they were all still in circulation. But they were now technically just subdivisions of the euro. It was a massive psychological and practical adjustment for businesses, banks, and governments, who had to rewire their entire financial systems to handle this dual currency world. This 3-year period was absolutely critical. It was a dress rehearsal for the main event. It gave the financial world time to adapt, and for the European Central Bank, also established in 1998, to manage monetary policy for the entire new Eurozone. Think of it as the world's biggest software update. Every financial institution, from the smallest local bank to the largest stock exchange, had to reprogram their systems. ATMs, cash registers, accounting software, everything needed to be ready for what was coming next. The public, too, had to get used to the idea of this new money, learning the conversion rates and seeing euro prices pop up everywhere. Little starter kits with a sample of the new coins were distributed in some countries to help people familiarize themselves with their new money before it even became legal tender. Then came the final countdown to E-Day, January 1st, 2002. This was when the euro would become a physical reality. The logistical challenge was mind-boggling. It was, and still is, the largest monetary changeover in history. We're talking about producing and distributing billions of new banknotes and tens of billions of new coins. Across a dozen countries, Greece had joined the Eurozone in 2001. At the same time, they had to prepare to withdraw an almost equal amount of old national currency. It was a project of unprecedented scale. Imagine the security and logistics. Armored trucks crisscrossed the continent in secret, pre-stocking banks and retailers with the new euro cash in the months leading up to the launch. This phase was called front-loading. It was a delicate operation. They had to get enough cash into the system so it would be ready on day one, but they had to keep it under wraps to prevent theft and maintain confidence. It was a huge success. When the clock struck midnight on New Year's Eve 2001, ATMs across the 12 participating countries began dispensing crisp, new euro banknotes. The first few weeks of 2002 were a unique moment in time. It was a period of dual circulation. Shops accepted both the new euro and the old national currencies. You could pay for your morning coffee in French francs and get your change back in euros and cents. For many people, this was the most tangible part of the entire process. It was a bit confusing, for sure. Everyone carried calculators or conversion charts. The phrase, "How much is that in old money?" became a common refrain across Europe. But it was also strangely exciting. People were holding a piece of history in their hands. Within just a couple of months, the transition was largely complete. By the end of February 2002, the old national currencies were no longer legal tender. Billions of Deutschmarks, French francs, and Spanish pesetas were withdrawn from circulation and, in most cases, destroyed. The euro was now the sole currency for over 300 million people. It was a remarkable achievement. Despite some initial grumbling about price rounding and the hassle of converting, the changeover went incredibly smoothly, a testament to the years of meticulous planning. So what has the legacy of the euro been? Well, it's complex. For travelers and businesses, it's been a massive convenience. No more changing money and paying commission fees every time you cross a border within the Eurozone. It has created one of the world's largest integrated markets, making trade and investment between member countries easier than ever. The euro quickly became the second most important currency in the world after the US dollar, giving Europe a stronger voice in the global economy. However, the journey hasn't been without its challenges. The sovereign debt crisis that began around 2009 exposed some of the structural weaknesses of the Eurozone. It's having a single monetary policy managed by the European Central Bank for so many different economies, each with its own national budget and fiscal policies, proved to be incredibly difficult. Countries like Greece, Ireland, and Portugal faced severe economic hardship, and the euro's very survival was called into question. These crises forced the EU to create new bailout mechanisms and strengthen financial governance. But the debate about the right balance between national sovereignty and collective responsibility continues to this day. Since its launch, the Eurozone has continued to grow. Today it includes 20 countries, with more aspiring to join. The euro is a part of daily life for nearly 350 million citizens. The story of its creation, from a post-war dream to a tangible reality, is a powerful example of what can be achieved through international cooperation. It was a gamble, a massive continent-wide experiment that fundamentally reshaped Europe's economic and political landscape. It showed that with enough political will and careful planning, even the most ambitious projects can become a reality. What are your memories of the euro changeover? Were you there? What did you think of the new money? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read your stories. It was a truly historic moment, and it's fascinating to look back on how it all unfolded. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into monetary history, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video.